So what if Apple decided to launch 5 iPhones instead of 4 and make the new one a complete revamp again? Because yes, the last time that Apple did a one more thing, it was for the iPhone X, and things are sounding like that again. Nothing seems to be gearing up to launch a new flagship soon, meaning that phone 2 might be more than we thought. And what if Samsung's Exynos chips are not dead after all, though no worries, you might not have to deal with them anytime soon. I'm Jaime Rivera, and just the idea of Apple doing a one more thing event again sounds great, but the last time they did, $1,000 phones became typical, so we'll see. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today are non-existent, but let's start with Samsung and a new report about their Exynos division. The company launched the Galaxy S23 series last week, and as previously reported, all models are exclusively powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, or so we think, because USPR couldn't confirm for other regions. But regardless, that doesn't mean that the Exynos chips are dead, everyone. According to a new report by ICE Universe, Sammy is working on a new chipset, the Exynos 2400. As reported that the CPU of the new chipset will move on from the octa-core architecture to 10 cores, 1 Cortex X4, 2 Cortex A720s with higher frequency, 3 Cortex A720s at lower frequency, and 4 Cortex 520s. Sadly, ICE didn't mention which phones this eventual chipset might power, but Samsung's launch of foldables pretty much shows us that historically all Z Fold and Z Flip products have been powered by Qualcomm, so I'm not worried about those, but we'll see what happens next year. As what if you get that new chip on the Galaxy S24 lineup? We'll see how that goes. Now let's talk about Apple and some new information about a so long-awaited feature for upcoming iPhones. 9to5Mac reported that Cupertino is working on an advanced bilateral wireless charging technology for the future iPhone, and that they intended to actually bring that on the iPhone 14 Pro models, but that wasn't ready on time. Also, yeah, this is actually just a fancy term for reverse wireless charging, everyone. The report also mentions that the company is creating a wireless power out firmware that is the basis for the two-way wireless charging feature and is also a key aspect of the ongoing testing and engineering of this technology. It seems like Apple also needs to improve some aspects like charging speeds, heat dissipation, and charging efficiency in order to make it possible to charge other devices. Also, from the report, we learned that a special user interface for bilateral wireless charging is on the works and that it would be similar to the interface used for MagSafe accessories. I just wonder how Apple plans to improve on a feature that's seriously only nice to have. I have never used it. We'll see. Moving on, let's talk about nothing. God, that name. Because we have the first reports about the phone 2, which is finally starting to surface. It seems the company's upcoming smartphone will be a more premium offering than its predecessor and will likely be a flagship. The phone 2 is expected to be powered by an unreleased Snapdragon 8 series chipset that could be announced in the second half of this year, meaning that an 8 Plus Gen 2 just got its first rumor, if you think of it. The report also mentions that the chipset will be paired with at least 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. For the display, we still don't know much about the size, but we hear it's an 120Hz OLED panel, and we even hear that it could bring a 5,000 mAh battery as well. Whether that's the case or not, I think the question is if you'd prefer a mid-range phone 1 or a flagship phone 2, because I think that in the United States, both devices need to be launched. We'll see. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's go back to Apple, since we have new contradicting rumors about the upcoming either iPhone 15 lineup or iPhone 16. It's kind of confusing, but a few weeks ago, Mark Gurman reported that Cupertino considered replacing the iPhone 15 Pro Max model for an Ultra variant, which sort of made sense given the crazy long name it currently has, but that phone had improvements. Thing is, hold your horses, because it seems that it might not necessarily happen that way. Earlier today, Gurman stated that the company could add an even higher end model of the iPhone that would be above the Pro models, meaning meaning that we could be getting 5 iPhones, or who knows, maybe the Plus model could be removed from the series. The report also mentions that this change will not happen until next year's lineup at the earliest, so we'll probably get the same 4 models in September and this possible higher end variant next year, though this contradicts what Gurman said before. So far, it's unclear how that Ultra model could differ from the Pro variants, but Gurman speculated that this device could have a larger display, faster chip, additional camera improvements, and perhaps a portless design without Lightning or USB-C. And of course, it will cost a lot more, pretty much like when Apple launched the iPhone X separately. Regardless, in today's question, let us know, how much would you be willing to pay for an Ultra iPhone? Because in my case, unless this phone has like a 1-inch point-and-shoot sensor that warrants, I don't know what, $1,200, $1,300 in the price tag, I don't think it's going to be a good idea, but that's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me debate, question, or worry about the obvious. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.